Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Read and Reread. I am Angelia, and I know that I said in my last video that the next one was a haul video, but an interloper has appeared, and I received a tag that I wanted to do while it was still fresh. Alert the media, I am doing a tag pretty much right after I was tagged. I mean, within a few days. So it hasn't been weeks, it hasn't been months. I'm going to do it because it's of a timely manner, and it is called New Year, New Me book tag. This is an original tag created by Kevin Towle. His channel is called Kevin Towle Reads, and I just recently subscribed to his channel. I'm enjoying it very much, and he created a very fun tag to reflect a little bit on last year and prepare for the new year of reading. I was tagged by Jim at Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff, who I've been subscribed to for a long time, one of my favorite booktubers. And so I will put both of their channels and their versions of the video in the description box for your viewing pleasure. And I did talk about a little bit about New Year's reading plans in a recent video, and I highlighted all the different groups and events that I'm planning to participate in. But these questions are a little bit different. So let's take a look. And if everything suddenly goes completely haywire in this video, we're going to blame it on Moo, because we are still cat sitting and he already knocked the entire tripod setup down and went behind the desk and everything, because he had to check out the integrity and he found a weak spot. So my able-bodied assistant has left the room, but he might come back at any minute. But without further ado, let's see the questions in this tag. Number 1, the first prompt is called Fears. What is one book from your 2025 reading goal that scares you? My official one that I've been thinking about for a long time is The Count of Monte Cristo. It's hefty. It's a hefty tome. It might be the longest book in my library, and I have not read it. I bought this, I can't remember, I've blacked this out. I either bought it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and with this great intentions of reading it in whatever that new year was, and it still hasn't happened. And so I really truly do want to read this year. It has wonderful mammoth potential. I might need to start, look, it still has the wrapper on it. I might need to start early. I either need to start with the idea that it will continue past March of the Mammoths, or start early and then finish it in March of the Mammoths. But I really do want to read The Count of Monte Cristo. The Count of Monte Cristo this year. and then grease and flour my pans. But yes, this is my plan, even though I'm scared. I was recently gifted an equally frightening book, which is Lonesome Dove, everybody's favorite. And I don't know if I'll get to it this year, because we'll have to see if I feel invigorated and inspired by reading The Count of Monte Cristo to tackle another mammoth, or do I want to save the mammoth? We'll see. I think this will be a great summer book to read all summer long. So I'm not going to commit right now, but the vibes are kind of feeling that way. It's June on the range, that kind of thing, big book summer. The second prompt is called Patience. What is the one book on your 2025 reading goals that you want to start immediately? All right, well, I have the perennial bridesmaid of the past several months, which is Ghost Mountain. I keep really wanting to get to it, and somehow I just overbook and have all these planned things, and I'm going to read this as soon as I get through all those others, and I never get through all the others. And now I have another one. This is a sneak peek from my haul video, but I have Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, and I read The Warden a few months ago. It was a buddy read with Sonia from Enthusiastic Reader. We both really loved The Warden, and I want to continue on through the series before too long, while The Warden is fresh in my mind. And I have a whole story about this edition that I got that I'll tell in the haul video, but I want to get to this kind of soon. Like, I don't think it's going to fit into January, but February, hopefully, maybe, we'll see. All right, number 3 is Growth. What book last year pushed you to reflect and or grow as a reader? Okay, you've heard about this book. You are so tired of hearing about this book, but I'm going to mention it again. And it is Blackouts by Justin Torres. This book is sort of a this is sort of a low-key cilantro book. So it's not one of the big titles that lots of people argued about, like Held by Ann Michaels, which I have not read yet. But watching people's best and worst of videos, it's appearing frequently on both lists. Some people seriously did not like this book, but I really loved it. It was a buddy read with my friend Michael. It's one of our favorite buddy reads, I think, this year, because it led us on so many different trails. So the way that it made me grow as a reader is that it not just the content of the book and the experimental format and how much I enjoyed it, and the fun of researching all of the real life people that he references, the subject matter, the unusual format, the experimental layout. But there were so many things to pursue. And then it led to a bunch of other reading that I probably wouldn't have thought of doing in this past year if I had not read Blackouts, things that influenced Taurus. And those other experiences included reading his first novel, We the Animals, which I loved, Kiss of the Spider Woman by Manuel Puig, which I loved, and Pedro Paramo, which was one of the strangest, most surreal books I've ever read, and such an experience that I also really enjoyed. So it was we call it the Blackouts effect now, when you just have to keep on going, and the book just spreads out and leads to a bunch of other reading. Number 4, New Paths. What is one author that you plan to try for the first time in 2025? Well, hopefully there'll be quite a few, but 2 people that came to mind that I definitely want to try in 2025, and both of them I don't have an explanation about why I haven't read them before, but Allie Smith, who I have been hearing about and interested in, and so many people love her work, and then she was turning up, her new book was turning up on people's lists, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to remedy this. And so sometime this year I'm going to read How to Be Both. That's where I'm going to start. And I stuck it in the Ben Reads Good challenge somewhere, and I can't remember where, but I slotted it in there somewhere. So I'm reading it this year. I just am. And the other author is Penelope Fitzgerald. I have never read her. Why? A Booker listed author. I think she's been on the Booker list a couple of times. She has multiple books that sound interesting to me. Haven't read any. So I do have a question. Where should I start? I've got a starting point for Allie Smith. Where should I start with Penelope Fitzgerald? If you have an opinion, drop it in the comments. Number 5 is called Self-Care. What is one book and or series that you revisit for comfort? Uh-oh. This prompt just steps right into it. You know what I'm going to say. Yes, indeedy, it's Catcher in the Rye. Why is this a comfort book? It's about grief and depression and anxiety and post-traumatic stress and a teenager having a meltdown and falling apart and smoking and drinking. And why is this comforting? Why is it funny? But it is, and I love it. I've read it more times than any other novel, and I read it every year. And if I don't pick it out around Christmas time, I pick it out at a time when I just need that feeling of coming back to the familiar territory. My other frequent comfort read is as different from Catcher in the Rye as you could possibly get, and it's what a lot of people's favorite comfort read, and it's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. But for some reason, this isn't always my favorite Jane Austen book. That might be Persuasion. It changes. It moves around. But it's my most comforting one. And to me, I don't know. It's the one I come back to when I really need that reliable, recurring experience. And also the 1995 adaptation is my comfort watch. Number 6 is Forging Ahead. What is your favorite debut book or first book in a series you read last year? Well, I look back over my list, and I don't know if I read a first book in a series. There's a series I'm reading, but I started around book 3 and got up to like 7 this year. So I'm going to go with a debut author, and I chose someone that I kind of felt in retrospect that I unkindly omitted from my best of list. I wish I had put this book in my honorable mentions, and that is The Safe Keep by Yael Vandervoten. This is one of my favorite books from the 2024 Booker list, and it is one of my favorite debut novels that I read. And this is one that the longer it has sat with me, it has improved with age, like a wine, because my first impression was I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great debut novel. The main character was intriguing and bizarre, but there was some elements of the plot that I wasn't entirely satisfied about. But after seeing a lot of videos, hearing a lot of responses and different takes on it, I saw some angles and aspects of it that I missed the first time. In fact, I probably need to just read the book again, because I think that I missed out on some of the things that the author Yale Vandervoden was intentionally doing with the ending of the book. So my old original review of this about how it was really great, but I didn't love the ending, I have second thoughts. And that is the hallmark of a great new writer, when you keep thinking about it later and some of your thoughts or your opinions kind of shift. And so it's a great book for discussion, great historical fiction. I'm really excited about what this author is going to come out with next. And you know what? If you can make the short list right out of the gate with your first novel, I mean, what is going to happen next? I'm really excited about this author. Number 7 is goals. Do you have a specific reading goal or challenge for the year ahead? Well, I kind of covered that in a recent video about different challenges that I've joined for the year, and my ongoing personal challenge to read at least one nonfiction book a month. I don't do goals like numerical goals and things like that. I just read, and whatever the number comes out is how it comes out. I'm just always reading, and then at the end, that's how much I read. So I don't have any other specific goals beyond what I already talked about. So we're going to move on to the next one. Number 8, breaking walls. Do you have a non-book related goal for 2025 that you wish to share? Well, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I did once upon a time, and then in more recent years, the way I feel is when I want to work on something, if something comes to mind that I feel like I need to do better with, or a project I want to do, I just start it then. I don't save it for New Year's. I don't put any particular pressure on January having to be the time. I just kind of do it when I do it. Like this week, I want to bake something. I have a baking cookbook that I haven't tried, and I want to make a couple things out of it. We're having cooler weather. It makes me feel like baking. And I was sick during the Christmas holidays, and I didn't bake. I felt kind of bad about that. I missed it, but I just didn't have the energy. So this week I have a goal to bake something. I try not to be too lofty in the goals and keep them manageable, and just do them whenever I think of them. Okay, number 9 is teamwork. Tag some others. I notoriously don't tag people because I'm usually so late with the tags, but this time I'm going to tag 2 people because I don't think they've done this video yet. They might have been tagged, and maybe the video is forthcoming and I don't know about it. But I'm going to tag Pat from Book Chat with Pat because she always tags me, and I have so many tags, some of which I've done and a lot that I never got to. Sorry about that, Pat. But I'm going to tag Pat, and I'm also going to tag Mari Andrea from Books and Bocadillos. I don't think she's done this either, and maybe she wants to. No pressure, ladies, if you don't want to do these tags, but if you do, I'd love to hear your answers. And that's the end. My next video really is going to be a haul video, so until then, stay warm, stay cozy if you're in one of these snowy places. My cozy is that it's like 50 degrees today, so I have a flannel shirt. That's it. It's bright and sunny. And so have a great day, and I'll see you soon.